a story time on how I found out I was pregnant and how my family and whatnot found out I was pregnant. So yeah, I got pregnant around December 7th last year. I think it was the 7th. I don't know. That was my last period. That's how they calculated or whatever. So yeah. So I got pregnant around that time, and I knew what I was doing, but it's still shocking or whatever. So yeah, this is gonna be a little messy because I have pregnancy brain, and it's a real thing. Like, I'm not gonna remember every little detail, but I'll put in like information when I can or whatever, like screenshots, because I have screenshots of how I told my mom and stuff like that. So yeah, and if I get out of breath from talking, then don't mind me, because I'm big, like, and can't hardly breathe. So yeah, where should I start? I got pregnant at the age of 16, and yeah, so it was around Christmas time, and I didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't at all. Thought I was going to get my period, but I didn't. I missed it by two weeks, I think. No, I definitely missed it longer than that. I missed it by like a month, because I didn't want to take a test and then it said like negative, but you know how some tests can be like say negative but really be positive. So I didn't want to take a test too early, because my friend had got pregnant before me. Like my best friend got pregnant before me, and yeah, I knew like if I took a test it would say negative and it might be positive. So I just waited until I was like past my period, everything, because sometimes my period irregular, but usually it's on time. But I don't know, I wasn't thinking. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just wait till a certain day and then I'm gonna take a test. So I was at work, and I used to work at this wing place with my boyfriend. So yeah, I ended up going on Instacart, and I ordered I think it was from Kroger or CVS. I ordered the clear blue test. Yeah, let me get it, because I actually have it out. I had 2 clear blue tests, and yeah, they definitely came back positive. But I think before that I had took this one test. Hold on, let me find it in here, because I know it's in here. I took one of the Easy Level pregnancy tests. Like, the brand is called Easy Level. So yeah, I had took one of these, and then it came back positive. As you can see, it says positive, clear as day, still clear, like still clear. And yeah, I had took this test, but I had like a whole bunch of these. Like, I had like a lot. I think I took 8 of these. I took 8 of these because I was like, I don't know, maybe it's lying to me. So then that's when I had showed my boyfriend, and he thought I was just bothering him, and he was annoyed because he worked in the kitchen and I worked in like the front area, like checking out people's wings and stuff. So yeah, he thought I was just like annoying him, so he had attitude when he came up there to the front when I said come here, and I was like, look at my bag. And then he was like, why? I said, just look at my bag. And he took forever. It was annoying me. Like, dang, you ruining the moment. Like, just look in the bag. So then he opens the bag, and then he sees my little test, and it was like I think 2, 3 of them, and he seen it, and he was like, what that mean? Boy, you know what that mean. He said, you pregnant? I was like, yeah. And then yeah, so that was that. But them tests could have been wrong, but I took one before and it said negative, so like weeks before that. So I was just like, maybe it's right, because you can't really get a false positive. You can't really get a false positive. Like, it's rare that you'll get a false positive. So, yeah. So that's when I ordered these clear blue tests, and they both said it's pregnant. I took both of them. Yeah. And all these tests came back right away. Like, right away. Like, the line was vibrant right away. But, yeah. So, that happened. And that day we had found out my brother's birthday, actually. It was January 7th. That's the only reason why I remember it. So, I found out I was pregnant January 7th. And I think I was like 4 weeks. 4, 5. I'm pretty sure it was 4 weeks. No, I was 3 weeks. I was 3 weeks. I was 3 weeks and some days. So, yeah, I found out at 3 weeks and some days. And then, yeah. But it was kind of like, you don't really think about you're pregnant. Like, for some, even now, well, no, I wouldn't say I wouldn't think that I'm not pregnant. But, like, most of my pregnancy, I didn't feel pregnant. I didn't, like, feel like I looked big enough. I didn't feel like I was pregnant. So, I wasn't really paying attention to it. Like, I would acknowledge that I'm pregnant, but I wouldn't, like, be like, oh, I'm pregnant. No. So, it really didn't cross my mind. But, well, no, let me not go right there yet. So, I think on my boyfriend's birthday, which was January 11th, which is 4 days after my brother's. Is it? Yeah, that's 11. Okay, January 11th. I thought I was making sure I had my math right. So, yeah, January 11th, I think my boyfriend told his mom. So, and then he told his mom and his aunt. I think they was together at the time. And his mom was pregnant too. She got pregnant like 2 months before me. 2 to 3 months before me. So she was like, oh my gosh, like, did she tell her parents, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I didn't tell my parents, no. But they wanted me to, but I just didn't, I didn't like it that nobody pressured, like, everybody was trying to pressure me into telling my parents. But I wasn't ready, and I wasn't going to do it until I was ready. So, yeah. And it took him, I think, a week and a half, maybe, to tell his grandmother. Yeah, so she's excited. Like, she acted like she was like, but she was excited. She's the most excited person. Like, yeah. But his family took it great. They found out literally like maybe a week or 2 weeks after we found out. Like, all his family. So, yeah. That's that. And on January 11th, my boyfriend's birthday, he told my brother, which he really didn't, yeah, he did tell him, but it was kind of like weird. So the way he told him, he was on the phone with his friend from Panama, and his friend was like doing weird stuff. I don't know, I don't remember what his friend said because I wasn't there, but they had told me. And then my brother was like, what? Tell me. And my boyfriend, he was like, I'm not going to tell you because you're going to end up telling your mom. And you're going to get her in trouble. And then he was like, no, I'm not, bro. What? She pregnant? And then Tonio looked at him. And then he was like, yeah. So my brother found out that way because the person who was on the phone with my boyfriend was being funny. So yeah, my brother found out then, but he didn't tell my mom, surprisingly. He didn't tell my mom. He waited until I was able to tell my mom. I would go to the pediatrician because if I asked to go to the OB, they would be like, why? But yeah, and they didn't test my pee, so they didn't know I was pregnant. But I knew it was wrong with me. But I would act like I didn't know because they would catch on to me being sick, and I'll be like, oh, it's because we have dogs. Because if you don't know me, I'm allergic to dogs. I'm allergic to all furry animals. So, yeah, we had a dog and we had a cat. And them two don't mix because I'm highly allergic to cats. So, yeah. that was probably part of what was making me sick, but I couldn't eat nothing. The only thing my daughter likes is what is it called? Anything that has tomato sauce on it. Like raviolis, I'll mess them things up. Spaghetti, mess it up. And she hated Alfredo. And I loved it. And then as soon as nope, it comes up. And then I couldn't eat oranges. I like mandarin oranges. I think that's how you say it. I don't like regular oranges. I don't eat those. I only eat the little mandarin oranges or whatever. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, and orange juice, I love them. But I couldn't do it. I would literally throw up. So, and sometimes I would throw up noodles. Noodles is the worst thing to throw up. It feels so, and I would always throw up acid too. Like, ugh, it was disgusting. And it was tiring. I have pictures, and I would always pee myself too. Like, I would always pee myself when I throw up. So I had to learn to like get the trash can and the toilet. I would have to sit on the toilet and throw up in the trash can because I would always pee. Never, not once did I throw up and not pee on myself. So yeah, I would always pee on myself. So then eventually I got tired of it because y'all gonna end up like, they're gonna end up finding out like I'm getting too sick. It's getting noticeable. My stepmom is noticing that I'm throwing up, and I can't keep on blaming it on medicine, or I can't keep on blaming it on the dogs or the dog and the cat. So yeah, we had went to a family meeting. Before I tell y'all my mom part, I'm gonna tell y'all this because this came before I told my mom. So we had went to a family meeting. It was me, my sister, my stepsister, and my stepmom. And her friend is kind of like, I don't know what her job is, but she's basically good at helping people talk. So she was basically like our person to help everybody express their feelings in the family meeting. My dad wasn't there because he had a battle to go to. So yeah. But sorry. Yeah, so we were sitting down, and then my stepmom had brought up how I was sick. And then her friend was like, why are you sick? And then I was just like, I don't know. I think it's the medicine that the doctor gave me. Because remember I said I went to the pediatrician, and they had gave me medicine for my asthma and stuff. So, yeah. And I never took that medicine, by the way. Because why would I take medicine knowing I'm pregnant? The pediatrician didn't know I was pregnant, which they should have tested my pee. Because that's what you're supposed to do. But they didn't. So, yeah. I had said, maybe it's because of the medicine that I'm taking. And she said, medicine is not going to make you sick and throw up. And I was just like, and then she looked at my stepmom, and then my stepmom looked at her, and she was just like, are you, and she didn't say pregnant out loud because my stepsister and my sister was right there. And then I said, no, we're not even thinking about that right now. We're not even doing stuff like that. Knowing dang well we was. But like, why would I tell y'all that? Why would I tell y'all that I'm doing nasty stuff with my boyfriend? Why would I tell y'all that? That's weird. Why would I tell y'all that? Even if y'all ask, why would I tell y'all that? And then they was like, okay, whatever. So then that happened. So let me tell y'all about my mom now, how she found out, because this comes next. So I told my mom, because I was getting sick and I was at work and stuff like that, and I couldn't do it no more because my dad was like, why you keep on calling off for work, or why you keep on not going into work? Because I would call off because I'm too sick. I can't get out the bed. Well, it wasn't a bed, but I couldn't get up. So yeah, I was just sick, and I knew I couldn't go to work because I would be sick and I would constantly go to the bathroom. Like, my people at the job knew that I was pregnant, but my family didn't. So it was just too much for me. So I was like, Ma, I need to go to the OBGYN. And she was like, why? And then she was just like, why do you need to go to the OBGYN, Jaleesa? And then I was just like, why else would I need to go to the OBGYN? And then I was like, I've been throwing up. and I've been doing this and that. And then she was just like, so you think you're pregnant, Lisa? And I was like, I don't know, yes. And she said, did you take a pregnancy test? I was like, yes. She said, let me see. And then I showed her on, like, it's just text messages. So I'll answer them because y'all can read them yourself, because I might be missing a few things. But I showed her and she was like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And then I scheduled an appointment for the next day. Because I texted her and I said, can you take off tomorrow? Because I need to go to the OBGYN. It's very important. And then she was like, why? So she wasn't going to do it at first. But then she found out that I was pregnant. Because she was like, 2 lines means yes, Jaleesa. That means you're pregnant. Which I knew that, but I was playing dumb. So, yeah. We ended up going. And we had to do a whole bunch of paperwork because they wouldn't take me by myself at first. I couldn't go to that OBGYN at first by myself because I didn't have a guardian with me. And because they have to make sure I'm actually pregnant before they can even do anything. So they had to have a guardian. But the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th appointment, I don't have to have anybody because it's proven that I have a guardian. But I have control over the baby, so I can go by myself. But the first time I had to go with my mom. So, yeah. They did the little heartbeat thingy. They heard a heartbeat. My mom was like, and she was just shook. Like, she was bamboozled. And then I told the doctors, like, the exact date. Because I knew when my last period was. So I told them December 7th was the first day of my last period. And then they was like, you might not be that far along. How you gonna tell me? So, yeah. We ended up going into the ultrasound room a few minutes later after the doctor asked questions or whatever. My mom was like, you could see that she was like disappointed, sad, and just didn't know what to do. And yeah, so I ended up going to the ultrasound room with my mom, and they ended up showing an ultrasound. When I tell you, my daughter was like literally moving all over the place, and my mom was like, this is an actual baby, like this is a full-grown baby, like this is not it's not an embryo, like it's a freaking baby, it's a whole baby up in there. And I was just like, I was excited because I was like but I knew she was like sad and disappointed, so I felt bad. But yeah, that's how she found out. And then my aunt found out the same day. Like my aunt on my brother's side, she found out the same day because she texted my mom and was like, what's up with Jaleesa? Even though they don't never check up on me, but yeah, she ended up asking my mom about me, and then my mom was like, nothing at the doctor. Yeah, she's pregnant. Yeah. But yeah, that happened. So that's how my mom found out. But when we got in the car, she was already trying to figure out a name, whatever. She was like, so what you gonna name it if it's a girl or a boy? Do you plan on keeping it? Do you wanna do anything? Blah blah blah. And I was just like, yeah, I want it. That's not an option. It wasn't an option for me to get an abortion either. I didn't want one. I wasn't gonna get one, but it wasn't even an option. Like, she wasn't going for it. But yeah. So we came up with the name Summer, but her name is like Summer Marie. So Summer Marie is her first name. So yeah, we came up with that. I was planning on telling my dad. Like, my mom gave me full control over telling my dad because I was like, don't tell him. Like, I'll tell him. And she respected that because I'm her daughter. Like, she let me do that on my own because it's my responsibility to do that. I decided to do this, so I have to tell him. But she was just like, yeah, you can tell him. I don't care. Just tell him. So I didn't tell my dad right away. Like, it took me like 4 days to tell him, because every time I would get ready to tell him, he would have a bad attitude. So I wouldn't be able to have like a way to tell him, because I'd be like, dang, he's in a bad attitude. I'll do it the next day. Plus, I was scared to tell him, so I was just. So yeah, my eventually, I was sick again, and then my stepmom came in, and she had the same type of test, the little strip test. She had one of those, and she was like, take this. And I was just like, no. And she was just like, why not just take it? And I was just like, no, because I already know the answer to it. And she was like, okay, whatever. And she was just trying to pressure me into taking it. And then I was just like, no. And then she like tried to get my dad to take it, and I was like, no. Like, she tried to get me to take it, and I was like, no. And then my dad was just like, if like, why you don't want to take it if you already know the answer? And I was like, I just ignored him, and I walked into the closet, and then I grabbed the little baggie that the doctor gave me, and it had the ultrasound in it, and I just laid it on his bed and left the room. And then he came in, like he said out loud, he said, what is this? And then I was just like, it's a look in it. Like, what you mean, what is it? Look in it. He couldn't find the ultrasound paper. I was like, oh my freaking gosh. But yeah, he eventually found the ultrasound pregnant. He says, so what this mean? You're pregnant? Don't you see a baby on an ultrasound picture? Blew me. I didn't understand that. But yeah, I think I have the ultrasound picture actually. Exactly 14 weeks when I went. So yeah, this was the pictures. Like, it was a full-blown baby. Like, what do you mean? What is this? Like, you could see it's a full-grown baby up in there, man. Full-grown baby. So, what is this? Is this the same day? No, I think this is my gender reveal. Okay. So yeah, I had showed him that, and then he said, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, Lisa. Bye. Like, he basically wanted me to get out of his room. He didn't say bye. He just wanted me to leave out the room. And then all I hear is him crying out loud. And then she was like, what? Like, his wife was like, what? And then I guess she seen it, and she was like, so then they kept on pressuring me about how I wanted to, like, handle it, how I was gonna deal with having a baby, how I was gonna do this, how I was gonna do that. And I'm not trying to think about that right now. Like, I'm over here distraught. Y'all putting too much energy on me. Y'all over here yelling at me, screaming at me, forcing me to have a plan. Basically, they wanted me to have a plan. I can't think of a plan. I can't plan out exactly how I want things to go, because everything's not going to go the way I plan. So I'm just going to stick with what the future holds, because I'm not going to plan out something. And they didn't understand that. And also, she was mad because I didn't tell her, like before at the family meeting, I didn't tell her when I knew. But you got to understand, I don't have to, like, I didn't even tell my mom, my dad. Why would I tell you? So it was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't feel like I had to tell anybody that I was pregnant until I felt ready. Which, when I was ready, I technically wasn't even ready to tell y'all. Like, y'all forced it out of me because y'all trying to get me to take a pregnancy test, and I wasn't finna take a pregnancy test when I already knew that I was pregnant. So no. But yeah, I already know I was pregnant, so I wasn't finna take no test. So that happened, and then it caused a whole bunch of drama. She felt like I was disrespectful because I didn't tell her, blah blah blah. And I was done with it. And my mama, she was very supportive. Like, what can you do? I'm already pregnant. Like, you can't force me to have a plan. My mom thought that a plan was stupid because you can't have a plan for a baby when it's a baby. Like, you have to just go with what happens, because you never know what's going to happen. So that's what happened. And I was just like, Mama, I'm finna go. Come pick me up. I packed my stuff, because I was just hearing her talk to my dad and tell him how I was being like disrespectful. I need to go, blah blah blah, this and that. So I packed my bags and I said, Daddy, I'm finna leave. I don't want to hear people talk about me. Sorry. And then I called my mama. She came out of her sleep, picked me up, and I slept in my mama's house for I think 2 days. We had another family meeting with everybody, including my mom, my brother, Tonio, all that, my stepmom. And that just discussed like how people was going to be there for me, how if I needed anything, they would be there. And then my dad's side still wanted me to have a plan. But then my mom and my stepdad had to explain to them, like, how are you going to have a plan for something like this? You can't have a plan. You can't plan out this, that, third. You just have to go with what happens and work your way as it goes. You can't just have they wanted me to have a solid plan. I can't have a solid plan, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to come across your path. So you never know. So, yeah. The family meeting happened, and I ended up moving in with my boyfriend. Like, how many days? I'm moving in with my boyfriend like 2 days after I went to my mom's house, because she gave me the option. She was just like, you just want to go move with your boyfriend? Because that's the only option that I had. Like, I'm not staying in a toxic household with my dad. I can't move in with my mom because she lives in a loft in the city. And if you know about lofts, they're like really small. Like, there's not even doors on the room. So how am I gonna? And we decided to move out of our mom's house before she got that apartment. So that was our fault. So she could have had an apartment that had space for us, but we decided to move out. So I moved in with my boyfriend, which is the best decision. And that happened. So yeah, I ended up moving in with him, and that's how things are going now. That's how my family found out, and how his family found out, and how me and him found out. So I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, which might be today, because I have another video coming. Just know that. If y'all see me in the same outfit, then y'all see me in the same outfit. It's recorded in the same day. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. And yeah, follow my pregnancy journey, even though it's almost over. I'm gonna be recording a lot more stuff before my pregnancy is over, because I want to get back more active. So yeah, y'all can follow me on Instagram. It'll be in my description box, and my Instagram is atl.lisa. Or you can follow me add me on Snapchat. It's Jalisa_swag with 4 G's. Or look in my description box. And make sure y'all subscribe, because yeah, you don't want to miss a post. You don't want to have to search in my name. You just subscribe and it pops up on your screen when I upload. Like, just subscribe. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. I think it's gonna be what's in my diaper bag. Maybe we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. See y'all in the next video.
Made an agreement, we vowed that we'd always be together, do whatever. We said that no one would ever get between us, so that we'll never leave us. That was a while.